Hafid Darbaki with RIZINtv. Happy to be joined by Ilkhom Nozimov, who returns to action on June 14th at RIZIN Landmark 11 against Suguru. Ilham, it is good to see you.
Good, thank you. Good to see you.
Of course, many RIZIN fans, especially in Japan, they know who you are, they know your story. But for the fans outside of Japan, or for fans that are just watching RIZIN for the first time, could you tell us how you started doing martial arts?
Меня зовут Ильхом Назимов. Я родом из Узбекистана. Профессиональную мою свою карьеру я начал,
So yeah,
ну,
when I
как
was younger,
начал смотреть
I found out
кассеты
about
старого
VHS
файта
tapes with
диктата
fight
современного
tournaments on.
Мирко Крокопси,
So right away I was blown away
нокауты,
about it,
файты. Я думал, это
and
фильм.
for me it was like a movie.
Мечтаю, что
It wasn't like a
такой
sport.
турнир.
And watching like the likes
Очень
of
сильно в
Mirko
тот момент
Krokop
я замечтал
inspired me a
оказаться
lot,
в
and
этом
I
ринге
was
и проявить
trying to
какую-то
imagine how to
себя.
be
И
in
просто
his
представил в
position.
моменте, каково это
And
быть
right now, you can say my dreams come true, and
в
I'm
таком
already in that ring in
мероприятиях,
Japan,
в ринге, и
and
все в этой
I'm right
атмосфере
now the
проходят.
main character in that movie.
So let's talk about your professional career. Uh, Before even you made your professional debut, is it true that you had some fights that are not on your record?
Да, тогда, когда я начинал боями заниматься, ну, тренироваться, точнее,
So when
хотел
I
в
began my martial
юниорстве,
arts journey, I was starting with different
и
disciplines, with
определенно в
striking,
Китае хотел
wrestling,
заниматься
doing some
кудо.
amateur
Это
competition.
японский вид спорта,
And then
кстати.
at the time, I switched to Kudo,
В
is also
моменте,
Japanese martial arts.
так
And when I was
скажем,
training
богатые
Kudo,
дядьки, как фильм
there's some
бойцовского клуба, да,
rich
из
guys in our
кудо
city, like
собирались в
every
какой-то вечер
6 months, they will
полгода
organize some
и
Grand Prix
устраивали
event. And this event is
златодорские бои
like there is
какие-то.
no weight
Просто
classes, no
собирались
judges.
две
They will
группы,
people will sign
примерно
up and they
весовая
will
категория и
randomly
бойцы,
assign
короче.
who will
Типа ты
fight
дерешься
who,
с ним, ты дерешься такой
just
определенный
without any
график
weigh-ins.
было, и мы там
And
дрались.
I used to do this
Не
kind
было
of
ни
tournaments,
судьев,
and
не было
because we
ничего.
didn't
То
have
было
any
правила
judges or
тоже были, там 3
referees,
раунда по 5
it
минут. И мы
usually
дрались в
like whoever
основном
stands last,
до
for
завершения, и
pretty much
там не было
till
такого,
someone
что
gives
просто по
up
очкам там
or
дрались
quote unquote to the death, So I did a lot of
10-15 минут.
that kind of
Таких
fights, a lot
боев
of
у
the
меня, вот
tournament. You
я
can say
начинал
like
первый раз с
underground
такого
fighting.
боя.
What were the results of these fights? How many tournaments did you enter? Please tell me more.
Yeah, it
Боев
was crazy. I had like
4-5
competed in
турниров у
4 or 5
меня было. Я
tournaments
там
like
всех
that. I won
выиграл,
them all. It
100%.
was a crazy
Победа.
atmosphere,
То
and
есть
I
раз там это была
enjoyed it. Had
атмосфера
this kind of experience
сильнейшая.
before. It was a
И
pretty much
если
like an
я
old
уже
school
знал,
pride
что
format.
ударник, то я
You can
сразу
have
же
like a
начинал
striker
переводить. То
versus
есть
grappler matchup. So if
было,
I
знаете,
find
как
out the guy
борец
is
против
a
ударника, и
master of
вот там
sport in some
была,
striking
как
discipline,
в
so
старом
I
прайде,
usually
там,
try to wrestle
каратист
him
против
and try
борца и так
to
далее. Вот там
use
вот
mixing
наподобие
martial arts,
такого
to
было.
get the win.
So let's talk about your professional career. You made your debut in 2015, so almost exactly 10 years ago. But at some points of your career, you have some time in between your fights. For example, between your first and second fight, you had 15 months. Between your second and third fight, you had 16 months. And then from 2019 to 2021, there was a break there as well. What is the reason behind some of the time off between fights?
Да, конечно. Мой первый, вот я начинал драться, так сказать, в подпольных боях.
So, since I was doing underground fighting, and there were no wins, no rules, and then I switched to pro career, and it's kind of changed the vibe. You had weight classes, you had to do the weight cut and all this stuff. And I used to do the tournaments at 70, 72 kilo when I was weighing like exactly that weight. Then when the weight cut come into place in my first professional fight, probably affected me, and then I lost it. And after I lost it, I kind of was within myself, trying to find an answers, trying to find like the click, how it will work, because I knew like in training I was doing everything well, it was working out, but I need to find that, competitive edge during the competition, and just one day I wake up and it clicked, I was ready. I was ready to be the winner, not just a good training, And I signed up for combat sambo competition. In one day, I had 5 fights in combat sambo. I ended up taking the second place. And since that, my competitive side woken up, professional competitive side. But since I was 0-1 in professional MMA, I was limited to new opportunities, and at the time there had not many events that you could compete in. It was one event every like 5-6 months, and to get on it, it was a battle already. Uh, for example, I had a friend who was 1-0 and I was 0-1. And he would get some opportunities. For me, they would say, like, forget about it. You're 0-1. You're not gonna get on it. So that's why it was a rough start for me in the beginning. And I always had to be ready, always had to be in shape and then wait to jump on some short notice opportunities to be able to build up my professional record again.
Wow, that's incredible. And building your record up since that time, obviously you have a winning record. You have a very good record. When did you decide to make the trip to start living in Thailand?
Это было после карантина. Я, во-первых, также был большой простой, уехал. Я должен был
So
уехать в
at the
Китай,
time,
но
the plan was to go to China. I had an offer to go to China to fight in there because still in Russia I didn't have many opportunities to
я
compete.
должен был полететь в
And
Китай, прилетел в
to get to
Узбекистан,
China, I had to come
где
back to
меня
Uzbekistan and apply
получается,
for the new
попадаю на
passport. And when
карантин,
I
вот идет
was applying for the new passport, pandemic hit,
карантин, в
and
карантине.
pandemic hit and
И чтобы с
quarantine, and I
карантина
was
с
stuck in
Узбекистана
there.
перебраться
I was
обратно
stuck
в
in
Россию, хотя бы
Uzbekistan at the
что-то
time.
там делать, то мне предложили вот тогда
I
тоже
still had to
свой
wait for any
Featherweight fight.
opportunities.
И после
And
этого,
because I was
опять же,
following the
пришла,
Tiger Muay Thai gym
обещали,
for a
бои
long
будут,
time,
будут, все тянули, не могу,
and
не могли мне бои делать.
I just kind of
Я
thought like
знал
maybe it's the right
Tiger
moment to
Muay
go
Thai, я
there
долго
right now.
охотился за
And
Sekisui,
I took a bank loan
долгая мечта, и я
and kind of
почувствовал,
went,
что в
all
Америке
in,
нужно, короче, вот
and
идти
decided to
в
move to
банк,
Thailand with my
взять
family to
кредиты,
try to
денег, потому что никакой
get in on
информации, ничего не
Tiger
было,
Muay Thai
мы с
team and
семьей
meet with
взяли
Sayat, with my
кредиты и
manager,
поехали за мечтой
get the
попасть в
contract with
команду
him.
Тайгера,
So
стать частью
I get the
команды
bank
Тайгера
loan,
и
flew to
получать
Thailand,
контракт
and
менеджера
made that happen.
тебя. Не каждый идет на
Yeah,
такой
not
риск,
everyone could
чтобы
risk it like
взять
this, to
кредит,
go to
довериться
the bank
банку
to get a
и
loan,
пойти за этой
and just
мечтой
follow your
поехать.
dream.
Was it difficult to convince you brought your wife to Thailand as well? Was it difficult to convince her to go?
Yeah, my wife,
Нет,
she's
она
a big
очень сильно
supporter
верит в
of
меня,
me and my
она
dreams,
знает, какой
and
я долгие
she
годы
believed
путь
in me
провожу,
because
и
she
она
sees my
большая
hard
опора для
work and
меня.
she believes in my
Из-за
hard
этого
work.
мы
And
вместе верим в
it's,
нашу
you can
мечту, и
say
мы
it's
вместе идем
our dream,
в
it's
другой
different
мир.
level of support.
That's incredible. And obviously it worked out because now you're fighting in RIZIN, you're achieving your childhood dream. So let's talk about, your career in RIZIN now. Last time you fought was last year at RIZIN 46 against Sora Yamamoto. You got a TKO win. Since that time, about 13 months ago, what have you been doing in your time away from fighting?
Во время боя Сора Янамото я повредил
Yeah,
сустав
during my fight with
поперечной
Sora
костевая
Yamamoto, I
связка.
injured my
Низ
knee
порвал,
and
получается,
tore
вот
some
в
ligaments in the
первом
knee.
раунде. И
So
после
because of that,
этого
I
у
had to
меня
have a
была
surgery and
реабилитация,
then a
долгое
long
время я в Ираке
rehabilitation.
провел, но все в это
And
время я
that's why I was out for a
тренировался,
while.
я
But
не
even though
готовлюсь, не тренируюсь, потому
I
что
had
для
a
меня
knee
избежать
surgery and
головой это
rehab, I
главное в
was
жизни. Это
non-stop
кто-то,
training
если готовится по
because my
кемпу, у меня
lifestyle
весь,
is
вся вокруг меня это
evolves around
моя
training.
жизнь, это есть
It's not
кемп. Я
just
тренируюсь
a camp
24
when I
на
train.
7 просто.
So it's
Весь
for
год
me.
это тренировался,
I was
также
limited in the
полустоя
beginning. I was
из-за
doing what I can,
реабилитации.
but
Сейчас все
since that, I
травмы
already came back to
восстановлены,
my full
сейчас я уже
condition,
сильно
and
заряжен,
I'm right now. I'm
очень сильно
super hungry
верю в
to come
тебя,
back
и
to the
вот
rising
хочу
cage
ворваться
and
в
come
эту
back with a
клетку,
blast. I miss
вернуться в
Japan. I
Райзен. Я
miss
очень
Japanese fans,
соскучился по Японии,
and I can't
по
wait to
Райзену,
get
по
back
этой клетке, по
and
этому
get that
адреналину.
adrenaline rush again.
Yeah, I think the fans are very excited to have you back in the ring, or this time in the cage. Did you get any other offers besides the Suguru knee fight? Did RIZIN offer you any other names?
Нет, мы очень долго ждали, мы же должны были драться
I've been ready since
после
March. I've
Нового
been
года,
asking
как
for the
бы
fight since
отказывались от
I was ready to
репетиций
compete in
драться,
March
так же,
already,
как вот
but
в
I
этом
heard a
месяце
lot
и
of
как предыдущие.
fighters
И все
been turning
отказывались,
down the
и
fight with me.
Сугуруни, это я благодаря
So
ему как бы отчасти
that's why I
получил
have to also be thankful to
благодарность за то, что
Suguruni
он
for
принял бой
accepting
со
the
мной.
challenge, respect to him,
Но
and I can't wait to
тяжко
get back,
было.
So you're not the only featherweight, fight on this card. There's some other big fights. The former champion Vugar Karamov is fighting Shuya Kimura, who just won his RIZIN debut a couple months ago. What do you think about that fight?
Да
Yeah, I don't
ничего,
really
у
think
него
about him.
своя
I don't
дорога, у меня
focus
своя
on him.
дорога.
I
Я тяну
focus on my journey.
очень
He have
хочу
his own
победить,
road. I
мы
have my own
подеремся,
road, and
посмотрим, кто сильнее
at some
будет.
time our
У меня
paths gonna
фокус сейчас
cross. We're gonna fight
конкретно на
and find
моей
out who's a
карьере и на
better
моей
fighter.
дороге.
That's totally fair. But unfortunately, I have to ask another question about a different featherweight fight. Victor Kolesnik is fighting against Sasuke. Victor's a good friend of yours, right?
Yes. Да, Виктор мой друг, очень хороший друг,
Yeah,
мы
you
очень
know, Victor
хорошо
is a good
общаемся
friend,
с
good
ним. Мы
training
регулярно
partner.
ходим
Last
на
time we competed together
RIZIN-путешествия,
at RIZIN 46 card. We
проходили
had
проект вместе, и
a
готовились, и
preparation
бой. И, в общем,
together,
я
and now
очень рад
again
тому,
too.
что мы
So
опять же в
we
одном
just
кадре с ним деремся, и
have a good
совместно
energy, you
продолжим
know, good
рейтинга.
vibes, you know, and
Мы
we
будем
can't
устраивать
wait
шоу
to get back
«Заходим» в
together to
SAPPORO.
conquer Sapporo together.
Yeah, please tell me more about your relationship with Victor. Did you guys meet in Thailand? Did you guys meet before going to Thailand? Please tell me more.
Да, мы познакомились в Таиланде еще. В принципе,
Yeah,
первый раз,
we met
когда
each
я
other
уже
in
сюда
Thailand
приехал,
after I arrived to
сразу
Thailand. He
же
also been
начались такие
coming for the
теплые,
training
хорошие
camps, you know.
отношения,
I knew him
хорошая
beforehand as
энергия
a
между нами,
accomplished
мы начали тепло
fighter,
общаться.
but when we met,
Заочно
we
я
clicked
его
right
знал
away, you know.
уже так
We have a
примерно.
good energy
Мы
towards
прям
each
близко
other.
начали общаться,
So
так
yeah,
сказать.
it's
Мы
great
здесь уже в
to
Таиланде
share mats with
начали
him.
дружить.
That's a really interesting story. I think many fans maybe didn't know that you're friends with Victor. I'm sorry to ask so many questions about the featherweight division, but there's just been so many big fights since the start of the year. Obviously, Kleber became the champion, beating Suzuki on New Year's Eve. But since then, there's been a lot of fights. Obviously, Shadolayev beat Kleber. Doubtbeck beat Suzuki, and Mikuru Asakura also beat Suzuki. Have you been watching these fights? And I guess what is your reaction to all of the results of these fights?
В принципе, все было это вот, какое событие исходов происходило, то это было ожидаемо, и ни к чему
Yeah, I
такому
think, you
новому
know,
мы
all
не
the
делали.
results are being predictable. You know, I
Плюс-минус
can
все
expect it,
бои
all these outcomes, and I
читаемы
cannot
были.
say someone really
И
surprised
ничего
me or
такого
that
прям
someone brought
кто-то чтобы
new
показал, что это
level
какой-то новый
or new
класс, новый
class. That's
уровень, чтобы
something
я
that,
такого
you know,
не
really
видел, такого
surprised me.
не
No,
было.
everything
Так
been
что
predictable.
Wow. I guess that's a good segue to talk about your fight. What do you know about your upcoming opponent, Suguru Ni?
Сугуруни такой, я на другом уровне нахожусь, и я выйду
Yeah,
в
you know,
клетку и
Suguruni, he
докажу
is
ему,
one of a kind
что
fighter, you know,
мы
with a
просто
special style, you
разного
know,
уровня
unconventional
бойцы,
style, and can
и
be
как бы, то есть я
unpredictable.
просто хочу
But,
выйти
you know,
туда и
this game have
доказать это
levels,
все,
you know, and I'm on
и
different level. And I
слова
already,
сказанные, да, там
you know, I can
какие-то
talk and
распутки,
promote the
я
fight,
готов к
but I
этому
just
всего,
can't
но
wait
в
to
этом
get in
весь
the ring, in the
реальный
cage,
уровень, я
and,
такого не
you
могу.
know, do
Я
it with
выйду и
my
докажу
actions, you know. And
14 числа,
Suguruni,
что Сугури
unfortunately, you're on my
свой не
path,
свой,
but you
да на
have to
дороге не стой, типа.
move a bit.
I don't want you to, give away your game plan, but maybe could you talk a little bit about how you expect the fight to go? What do you think Suguru will try to do against you?
Сугуруни, как всегда, будет в своем стиле это выжидать. Он
You
не
know,
хочет
Suguruni just
скорый
gonna be
бой.
himself, you know,
У него
he's trying to
плюс-минус
wait,
рядом
to
все его
explode, you know,
ошибки.
he
Если
doesn't
смотреть
evolve as
5
a
лет
fighter
назад
from
и
fight to
сейчас,
fight, you know,
последний
same
бой
mistake he was making
31
5 years
числа, который
ago,
он дрался.
he made in
Я
last
его
fight, you know.
могу
For me,
перевести,
I have
задушить, я
options, you know,
могу
I
его
can take him
перевести,
down and
забить
submit
его,
him,
я
I can
могу
take
его в
him down
стопу
and
нокаутировать. Я вам могу
TKO
сказать
him,
100%,
or I
что
can
этот
knock
бой
him
не
out
дойдет до
during
решения
the
судьев.
stand-up, you know.
Этот бой
One thing I know for sure, this
закончится
fight's not gonna
бессрочно,
go to
это
distance, I'm gonna finish
100%.
him.
Assuming you win this fight, let's say you get a finish and you have no injuries, how quickly would you like to fight again?
Максимально быстро.
You know, I want to come
И у
back as
меня
soon as
есть
possible. You know, I'm
имя
tired of waiting, and I
после
already have a
боя,
name to call
который я
out after the
вызову.
fight.
You read my mind. What is the name you want to call out, or do you want to keep it a secret?
Секрет
Подержишь в
надо.
секрете, да?
That's totally fair. So another question. We spoke about this a little bit earlier in this interview, but since you made your professional debut 10 years ago, this is going to be your 15th fight, if I'm not mistaken. Obviously, before you had different reasons for the time between your fights, but starting from this year, do you want to be very active compared to the past?
100%. Я хочу максимально быть в активе. Я, в принципе, если бы это не моя
Yeah,
травма, я уже был
100%. I want to be
готов
active, you know.
возвращаться хоть
If
на
it's not
следующей
for the
неделе,
injury, I
хоть
would have
через
come back
месяц.
1 week after the
Но
last
я
fight, you know.
думаю,
I
я
was so
очень сильно
hungry.
хочу быть на активе,
And yeah, I'm
выходить,
ready to be
драться
active, to
и
compete and
побеждать.
win.
And do you have any final message for your fans and RIZIN fans around the world?
Фанаты RIZIN, я хочу вам сказать, чтобы
Hey,
вы
RIZIN
числа,
fans, you know, it's
я
been too long,
возвращаюсь, вы ждали
and
шоу,
I
я
can't
его
wait.
привезу вам.
I know you've been waiting
Увидимся в
for the
Саппоро,
show,
я
and I'm gonna
покажу, что
bring the
я
show
являюсь
to you to
другим уровнем
Sapporo, June
бойцом. Я
14th, you
тот
know.
боец,
I'm
которого
the
вы
fighter you're gonna love.
будете
I
любить
have a
и
style you're
будете
gonna love,
следить за
so
мной,
don't
потому что
blink
мой
and
стиль ведения
keep
боя
100%
тот,
focus on the
который вам
fights
по
because
душе
I'm bringing something
нравится.
special.
Ос.
Well, there you have it. Ilham Nozimov will fight Suguru at RIZIN Landmark 11 on June 14th. Fans around the world can watch the event on RIZINtv on pay-per-view. Ilham, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you. See you in SAPPORO. Us.
Hafid Darbaki from RIZINtv. I'm happy to be joined by Magerram Gasanzade, who will be returning to action on June 14th at RIZIN Landmark 11 in Sapporo against Tatsuya Ando. Magerram, it's good to see you.
Взаимно, скажи.
It's
Взаимно.
mutual.
So, my first question. You fought one time before in RIZIN, but many fans might not know your history or how you started doing martial arts. So please tell me how you started doing martial arts.
История, что я занимался с вольной борьба. Все знают, я вольник, из вольной борьбы пришел.
First, like everybody knows that I started from freestyle wrestling, and after giving my military duty, I started doing a mixed martial arts. But first, I started like an amateur. I fought in amateur tournaments, and to be honest, I didn't know that. I didn't expect that I will fight in such an organization and as RIZIN.
So you said you did
And-
military duty. Please tell me more about that time in your life.
Армейской жизни.
Да, я и был в армии, был в спецназе.
In the army, I used to be in a special forces, and simultaneously I was participating in freestyle wrestling tournaments, and I received some medals from some of these tournaments. And yeah, I like simultaneously was wrestling while giving a duty.
And I guess let's fast forward. How did you get the contract? How did you get the connection to fight in RIZIN?
Как я получил? У нас есть Vugar Karamov, это все знает.
As everybody knows, Vugar is currently fighting in RIZIN, and while Shingo's visits in Azerbaijan, he was recording their trainings in a gym, and he was wrestled with Magaram. And Shingo recognized him among everyone. And after that, he started negotiations about him. He asked from his coach about his data, like professional record, etc. And after that, they started negotiations about signing to the RIZIN.
So after you made your debut last November, what was that experience like, and what did it mean to you to fight in RIZIN?
Первый бой у меня значило в RIZIN.
Firstly, all my thought was about winning the fight, doesn't matter how. But after that, my first aim, my main goal will be win before the time, like by knockout or submission, like in order to show the spectacular fight.
So obviously his debut, he won by decision against Shirakawa Rikuto. That was 6 months ago, last November. Since these last 6 months, what have you been up to?
В течение 6 месяцев я провел 3 сбора. Был в Дагестане, был в Таиланде.
During this 6 months, we had ongoing work, like non-stop work. He was participating in 3 training camps in Dagestan, Thailand. Now he's in Dubai. They were working about like on his disadvantages in his fights. Now he's in a very good shape and is ready to show the very spectacular fight.
In training in all of these different countries, in Dagestan, Thailand, and Dubai, who have you been training with?
И мы тренировались в Дагестане у Хабиба.
In Dagestan, we were in Habib's gym, like we were training with the Islam Makhachev, Usman Nurmagomedov. In Thailand, like everybody knows about the Tiger Muay Thai, there are a lot of famous fighters there. And now, currently in Dubai, they are in the TK MMA gym.
Did you get any other offers besides Ando? Did you receive an offer for a different opponent, or was it just Ando?
Yeah, they say that there are 2 opponents for you, and Magaram says that there is no matters for me with who I will fight, like no matter, and then he received Ando as an opponent.
At this event next month, there's 2 other bantamweight fights. It's between 4 fighters, and they're all Japanese. Does he know any of these fighters? Their names are Taichi Nakajima, Joji Goto. Does he recognize these names? Does he know who they are?
Ну, Ну, так-то
I know these
знаю.
fighters. I
Слежу
follow
за
my
ними в
division, like the
бойце.
fighters in my division. But
Скоро, я
it's
думаю, они с ними тоже
no matter for me.
как бы,
My first goal is
и они с ними
to
тоже
go for the title, to fight over the title.
регулярно
And
на
after
и
this
подаю шансу
victory,
ночи бить
in any ways, I will fight
по-любому.
with one of these fighters.
Magerram will be competing again on the same event as Vugar. Tell me more about your relationship with Vugar and when you guys met and just your story together.
Vugar, мой земляк, мой одноклубник, мой брат, мой друг.
Yeah, we met with Vugar in the gym. Like he's my brother, he's my friend. We are representing one country. Before meeting in the gym, we know each other as a sportsmen. Like we're representing one country. When they meet in the gym, they train together, they hang out together, and there is a big pleasure for me that I will fight with in one event with Vugar, and I wish him good luck. And inshallah, we both will win by knockout, by TKO.
This year, there have been some big fights in the bantamweight division. The champion, Naoki Inoue, defended his belt in March. And then just a few weeks ago, on May 4th, at the last RIZIN event in the Tokyo Dome, there was an American fighter named Danny Sabatello, who has a lot of experience and won with a very exciting finish. Did he watch these fights, and what are his thoughts on these fights?
Да,
Смотрел за ними?
следил, смотрел, изучал, как они дерутся.
Yeah, indeed, I watched these fights. As I mentioned before, I follow the fighters in my division. I learn his skills, how he fights, and inshallah, we will meet soon. Like, anyways, we will fight. In any ways, we will fight.
Does Magaram think if he wins this fight, he deserves a title fight?
Если лига мне даст такой шанс, конечно, я не откажусь никогда. Это мой мечта.
Of course, if I will receive such opportunity, I think that I will be able to fight for a belt. Like it's my dream. I want to become a RIZIN champion, and if I will receive such opportunity from league, it will be very big pleasure for me. And I think that we are capable to do that. And inshallah, we'll take this belt.
What do you know about your upcoming opponent, Tatsuya Ando?
Я пара боев посмотрел и изучали, как он двигается, как он работает, как дерется.
Yeah, of course, I watched a couple of fights of him. We learned some skills of like how he fights, what skills he has, and now we are working with team on that. And to be honest, I don't find anything specific on him, and I think that I know that I will win by TKO before the time.
So, if you win this fight, how soon do you want to fight again?
There was so long time I was not fighting, 6 months, and it was too long for me. I don't want to have such break anymore. And inshallah, after winning this fight, I want to fight in the next tournament. Like as soon as I will relax, like take a bit rest, and in the next tournament I want to participate. I'm such fighter who doesn't want to wait for a long time.
There's going to be an opportunity. Most likely, RIZIN normally does a big event in July. Is that something he would be interested in?
It will be a very big pleasure for me if I will participate in such tournament. Inshallah, if I will not have any injuries or some problems, indeed I want to participate. It will be a very big pleasure for me.
And if he wins and RIZIN gives him the microphone in the ring, whose name will he ask to fight next?
Даже об этом и не думал, честно сказать.
To be honest, I didn't think about that.
Пока не думал.
To be honest, it doesn't matter for me with who I will fight. My goal, my aim is to achieve the belt, like the title fight, and doesn't matter with who I will fight.
And last thing, Magaram, do you have a message for all of your fans around the world?
Да, конечно, есть. 14 июня будет очень
I
жарко.
promise that I will show very spectacular fights, and I invite all the fans to come to this tournament and cheer for me. And inshallah, I will show very spectacular and good fight, and I will win.
Well, there you have it. Magaram Gasanzade will fight Tatsuya Ando at RIZIN Landmark 11 in Sapporo on June 14th. Fans around the world can watch the event on pay-per-view at RIZIN.tv. Magaram, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you, bro.
Спасибо
Thank
тебе
you.
за то, что
Hafid Darbaki from RIZINtv, happy to be joined by former RIZIN featherweight champion Vugar Karamov, who returns to action at RIZIN Landmark 11 in Sapporo. He'll be facing Shuya Kimura. Vugar, it is good to see you again.
Спасибо, я тоже всегда рад.
Yeah, it's mutual.
So the last time you fought was on New Year's Eve. You fought for the lightweight championship against Roberto Satoshi Souza. It was a good fight. The fans were very excited about that fight, but obviously the champion kept his belt. Looking back on that fight, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I wanted to test myself with one of the best fighters, lightweight fighters in this division. And to be honest, I felt myself very good both in both in a striking and in a physical side. But I think the one thing that I didn't have is a full camp. I had a few time for preparation for that tournament. And I think if I will have full camp training, like in 3 months, I will be able to show the better result.
So over the last 5 months, what have you been doing?
Тренировался, что еще делал?
Yeah, just train.
Скажи, утром и вечером тренировался.
Nothing special.
Nothing special. Was Shuya Kimura the first offer RIZIN gave you, or did they offer you a different name?
Который тебе дали.
Мне отправили.
No, I just received a message and say okay.
Did he watch Shuya Kimura's fight in March?
В марте не смотрел.
Honestly, I didn't watch his fight in the March, but when I received his name, I watched his previous fights.
What is your impression of Shuya Kimura?
Ну, он...
Yeah, I know that he's a former karatist, like karate player, and he's very good in the striking. But however, we have a very good plan against him. But indeed, I will not share that yet.
Of course, of course. Vugar, were you surprised that you didn't get the title shot against Kleber?
Нет, не удивлен, потому что у меня же...
Yeah, to be honest, I expected that I will not receive a title shot. It was not a surprise for me because I lost my last fight with Roberto Satoshi. And if I was not fighting in December, of course, I would receive the title shot. But I decided to fight in December with Satoshi. And it was not very surprise for me that they didn't give a title shot.
I remember seeing on social media, maybe Instagram, that you said you spoke with Kleber and Kleber promised to give you a fight. Is that true?
Yeah, in December, in my last fight in the ring, I talked with Kleber and said I want to have next fight with you, and they said, of course, you will be my first title defense. But unfortunately, he didn't fulfill the promise, his promise.
Speaking about the featherweight title, did you watch the last featherweight title fight, and what did you think about the result?
Конечно, смотрел.
Yeah, of course, I watched that fight. And to be honest, the result was not very unexpected. I expected that Rajab Ali will win this fight. And honestly, I didn't see anything specific, anything special in that fight.
I think the fight between Rajab Ali and Kleber in the RIZIN history, it's the second fastest finish in a title fight. Did you expect Rajab Ali to win so quickly?
Победить?
Not in the first round. Maybe I thought that he will win in the second.
Yeah, there's been many big featherweight fights this year. Obviously, Karshiga Doubtbeck fought Suzuki in March, and Mikuru Asakura also fought Suzuki on May 4th. Did you watch these fights, and what did you think about these fights?
Да, не, я смотрю, можно сказать, почти все бои, которые
Yeah, I can say that I watched almost all fights in the featherweight division. Like the fight with Suzuki and guy from Kazakhstan, like it was a very spectacular fight. I very liked that. And I'm very happy that Mikuru Asakura has returned to featherweight division. He's very good and spectacular fighter. And yeah, I watched these fights and I liked them. They were very spectacular.
Obviously, you have some history with these fighters. You fought Suzuki, you fought Asakura. Do you think that when these matchups happened, did you expect the results to be as they were?
Если честно, я думаю, что...
No, to be honest, I predicted that Suzuki will win this fight. I didn't expect the results. The result would be like that. I can't say that I was sure about Suzuki's win. Like it was something between 50-50 to me. Like who will shot first, he will win.
Many people were worried about Suzuki taking so many fights in such a short time. He fought on December 31st, March 30th, and May 4th. Do you think that was a bad decision from him?
Думаю, да.
Yeah, I also think that it was not a very good decision because I don't think that it's very correct and very right to fight every month. Yeah, you can do it sometimes, like as I did in December. I had only 1 month for preparing for the tournament, but mostly in order to win, in order to showing the good result, you should prepare, like you should have a full camp, like at least 2 or 3 months.
And obviously, you just mentioned Karshiga Dautbek from Kazakhstan. Dautbek said he doesn't want to fight Rajabali because he looks at Rajabali like a brother. What do you think about that situation?
Мне все равно.
I don't care about that. It doesn't matter for me, like what he said, like about his friendship. I just want to return by my title, and that's it.
I see. Let's talk about again Vugar's fights. This will be Vugar's 10th fight. This will be your 10th fight in RIZIN. How do you feel when you hear that?
Я рад. Я рад.
I'm very happy for that. Inshallah, it will be 20th fight.
I think maybe the fans are surprised that you accepted this fight against Kimura. Why did you accept this fight against Kimura?
Я никогда, допустим, что принять, не принять.
Yeah, I never chose an opponent for myself, even when I had a choice of between a couple fighters. I just want to update my belt, and that's it. Like I never choose the opponents. I just receive the name and I accept that. I don't have any choice to argue, like saying that I don't want to fight with it.
So basically, you don't have like a good relationship, or you don't care even if you're friends with someone, you'll still fight with them.
У меня нет друзей в RIZIN.
I don't have any friends in the RIZIN.
On June 14th, there are some other featherweight fights on the same event. Ilkhom Nozimov from Uzbekistan will fight Suguru, a Japanese fighter, and Viktor Kolesnik, a Russian fighter, will fight Sasuke, a Japanese fighter. Do you know of any of these fighters, and are you interested in their fights?
Да, мы с ним проходили один лагерь.
We have trained together in Tiger Muay Thai. We had a training camp together. Honestly, I don't care about that.
So if you win this fight, just like you won the Majima fight, you win in 30 seconds, no injury. How soon do you want to fight again?
Скоро через месяц. За пояс.
After a month. After a month for a belt.
A fight between you and Rajabali could be one of the highest skill level fights in RIZIN history. Do you think that's the most important fight of your career?
Да, мне тоже как бы самому интересно.
Yeah, I think that it will be very high level skill fight, and this fight is very interesting for me. And the strongest will win, and I hope that it will be me. I will win this fight.
Do you have a final message for all of your fans around the world?
Да, пусть приходят.
Yeah, I invite all my fans to this tournament. They will come and cheer for me. Inshallah, I will count this fight in very good shape. We'll show very spectacular and a good fight. And yeah, like for making fans no be boring, no feel burden.
There you have it. Vugar Karamov will fight Shuya Kimura at RIZIN Landmark 11 on June 14th. You can watch the event on pay-per-view at RIZIN.tv. Vugar, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, brother. Thank you.